Is it painted?
How fast he moves.
when she wants to.
Oh, yeah. He has.
Okay, welcome, everyone. Lee, you move fast when you want that agenda.
Hey, thank you for this. I'm gonna go to heaven yet. You're gonna save me. I appreciate it.
You get room?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right, I'm going to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for October already.
Yes, it is.
October the 2nd, 2023. Mr. Fetty.
All right. Board member,
Here.
Board member Tommy Roulette,
Present.
City Attorney Dale Wilson.
Here.
President Kelly Malone,
Here.
and myself.
Okay, any announcements under this meeting, guys? I don't have anything for this particular meeting.
I don't have anything, Mayor.
All right. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, Mr. Todd, we've got the Tanners Creek Bridge rehab. Thank goodness. You want to?
Yes, Your Honor. In front of you, you've got task order would be noted number 4. Back when we did the master service agreement back last year, end of last year, first of this year, this falls underneath that master service number.
Yeah.
And at that time, we did authorize the staff to go ahead and authorize the start of any work with your permission. And that's where we've been for the last 3 task orders.
Right.
And Mario, my only question, and I asked the mayor, or mentioned it to the mayor, and then I forgot to talk to you about it. Is just, I was thinking that they would do like an AIA contract for this, because it's part of the vertical, right?
No, this is part of the horizontal.
Horizontal.
Yes, yes.
Why aren't they, in the same just format? Looks like the
We
terms
do,
are the same.
we do have, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. There was a short form back some time ago, but it still falls underneath the AIA on the billing and contractual.
Okay. I think I only saw the proposal letter from them. I didn't see the formal AIA.
There's that. There's,
That was part of this packet?
that's what I gathered
Okay.
when we got
See,
that.
That was
stopped.
back, yeah, that was
with that.
back a while ago then, wasn't it?
That was 9 of 22.
See, that wasn't this packet.
Here was another
short
form of the.
So for this packet, we had this, but it references this from before, because Tom kept it. And we're actually executing this.
The short form will explain the contractual agreement
Okay.
that we've changed.
And that's that one.
Yes.
Because
That
we
we
did,
also really got back.
because we did the pre-construction for the construction manager for the
Yes.
horizontals.
Yes.
Now we're doing
We're actually
the,
into 4 would be the design, final design, which we're about 40-some% already
In
into.
it to it.
Yes.
and it covers pre-construction and
It's
during
all
construction.
This is all design.
Oh, I thought it had,
This is
I thought it
just
had
for the
an
bridge.
hourly,
This is just
I thought
for
it
the
had
bridge.
not to exceed for the
It
construction
does have
phase,
on,
for
task
the
force.
engineer.
yes.
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 So that
For
covers
engineering
us,
only.
yep,
Yes.
because they do most of their work beforehand, and then they stay on for, okay.
Correct. And you'll see additional, there's, I think, 10,000, you have the copy?
Yep, right here.
You'll see an additional 10,000 for services.
During construction, yep.
Yes.
So that covers pre and post,
Yes.
and they'll execute the AAA. We're
Correct.
just seeing that, but it's the same thing.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
that's perfect, thank you.
I'll get you a copy of that if you don't have it.
I have that. I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure we were all speaking the same language, since we just approved the AIA, so we all on the same page, but it sounds like we are.
Okay. Any other questions regarding the Tanners Creek Bridge rehab?
I have none.
I'd like to get a motion to just allow engineering to move forward on this with everybody that's involved, Structure Point, Veritas. We're gonna have to, it's gonna be closed down for a period of time when this actual work
Correct.
starts happening.
Correct. And hopefully we'll have final design drawings here in the next few weeks.
Right.
And just for the record, we have already started paying some of that monies
Yes.
for this right here, out of this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yep, yep,
Correct.
You're right.
yep,
And that was through the master service agreement.
yes, yes. Took me a little bit to catch on, but as you can see, I got my file.
You got it, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, motion,
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys. Next two items was mistakenly put on council's agenda. I'm gonna move those up to new business and Board of Works, and first one being the agreement for fire protection services with the county. This is something we do every year, and it's done under Board of Works. We just mistakenly put it under council. Any questions regarding that agreement?
I have none, Mayor.
None.
If not, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement for fire protection services for the county.
So moved.
I'll second it, Mayor.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next one is the agreement for emergency medical services with the county. Any questions regarding that?
No.
If not, entertain a motion to approve the emergency agreement for emergency medical services with the
I'll
county.
make that motion, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I have no other new business. Old business, we got the 2024 motorcycle track lease agreement.
Your Honor, I would ask to table the motorcycle track and the speedway agreement. We made some edits last week that aren't ready, and there's one aspect that I wanted to have a discussion about, but I think we can solve both those issues. But both those agreements have changed.
The
and they'll be ready for
motorcycle and the antique market?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay. Table.
You say motorcycle and the
Speedway.
speedway.
Antique market.
Yeah, antique.
What do you
Oh,
mean?
antique market.
Yep. What did I say?
You
Speedway?
said Speedway.
Anyway, I think we understood.
My brain's not working.
That's okay.
In Your Honor, I would provide an update in regard to the Speedway RFP. Today was the deadline at noon. We did receive one submission, so we will open that submission, review it, and schedule an interview. Part of the process was to start an interview process, so very exciting that we did have a submission. And then also with the board's permission, for the next phase, because this RFP was published generally according to Indiana law and the kind of statutory requirements published it to the world.
RFQ though, wasn't it?
RFQ.
Yes.
And the folks who, because there have been some emails, calls, people being approached kind of directly before we published it. So I would like to reach out to all those folks because we kind of kept them, a register of them, and now that they've gone past the general term, to send it directly to people who've expressed an interest, and just in case they didn't see it in the newspaper or however it pleases the board, because we did keep those, and we even had one email Guinevere like on Friday, so kind of because of it's the awkward nature of publishing something in the newspaper versus directly sending it to people. I think we could do both and not miss any time. But of course, the official formal response will open that and interview them, so that way we don't miss anybody.
So what, okay, I'm a little confused, I guess. We had a date when those were supposed to be in by.
Yes, sir.
We had one submit on time.
Yes.
I think we owe it to that person to interview them before we send it out to anybody else.
Yeah, 100. I agree,
Right.
100%.
So I'm asking about the timing of it, is what I'm saying, I guess. And maybe you mentioned that, but, so we interview that one person that put that in on time. If they are deemed not qualified, or whatever the case may be, or they didn't do what was asked in the RFQ, then we send it out to the people that didn't do it on time.
Well, there are people that, before we even did the RFQ, expressed just
Right.
vague interest. And so because we just kind of kept a list of those folks, I'd like to just send that out and see if they have any interest, because this part was the formal publication. Just kind of like how we did with the construction manager,
Okay.
for the Riverfront project, we
Okay.
published it, we had formal response. And now that that period has passed, even while we're
Gotcha.
interviewing, we could now say, okay, well,
Okay.
I wonder if XYZ heard about this.
Okay.
And send it to them directly, since now we've passed the more general period.
Did we not send out the RFQ to those people, like, initially?
No, we published
We
it,
published it
In the paper.
publicly.
and they didn't, the folks I'm talking about were people who just kind of like stopped someone on the street or called us councilman. So it seemed better to be formal and that's why we did it so quickly. As soon as we got word, we wrote up the RFQ, got it published as fast as we could so that we would not lose any time. So now we've got a formal response, and everyone knew we published a formal response. I just didn't want to miss anyone. I'm sure those folks knew and would have responded if they wanted to, but just to be sure.
I mean, Dale, wouldn't we have to resubmit this RFQ?
No, once you do it once, it's kind of open. So it's kind of,
So we can submit it, and then we can just go out and choose whoever we want?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what an RFQ is, Mark, that's just for qualification.
We just want to, we want to chase down every possibility that we can.
That's if this one's not qualified.
Yeah, but,
The RFP is where the rubber meets the road as far as what they are required to do.
so we're going to start interviewing
What
that.
they're gonna require of us.
So we'll talk to that person immediately and start the process with them, because
Yeah,
they submitted a formal
and not to
response.
change the subject, but I did hear a few things on these other two agreements, and make sure before you make any changes that you get my office involved.
Sure.
Because there's things that I kind of heard that's probably not going to work the way you think that they're going to work. I
Okay.
mean, you know, like I said, I just want to be involved, okay? I want to make sure that whatever you're trying to change, that, because we collect things, we do different things over there, I want to make sure that we could actually, what you're thinking is feasible
Okay.
with our office.
And we'll do that, and while we were talking about those two agreements, we also talked about some other agreements that you guys do.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, and we're in between, kind of doing things in every department, to centralizing things to Mark's department and having a procurement manager and doing everything in one way. So Mark's been great about kind of rolling with the punches, because for example, all these RFQs went to his office, and we're trying to centralize everything, RFPs, RFQs, bids, but it's a work in progress, so absolutely. We'll do that, and I'll circle back with Billy too, because we talked about some utilities aspects. These agreements have they touch and concern a lot of departments, but it is good to run everything through you guys, so thank you for doing that.
Okay. Any other questions? Can I get a motion to table the motorcycle track license agreement?
So move, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to table the antique market agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. No other old business for this particular meeting, guys. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Just want to remind everybody before we get into the utility board meeting that at 6:30, we are required to have a public hearing for the 2024 budget. Correct, Mr. Fetty?
6:30.
6:30, okay. So in case we have to pause this meeting. Okay, I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Utility Board meeting for October 2nd, 2023. Another roll call, Mr. Fetty.
All right, utility board, we got board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board member Justin Noppert.
Sir?
Board member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
Utility director Billy Kenton. Here. City attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
All right. Any announcements, Mr. Kennett?
Yeah,
No announcements, Mark?
I just wanted to mention, we had the Line Workers Rodeo week ago Saturday, Friday and Saturday. So Friday, they had the apprentice competition, and then Saturday, they had the journeyman lineman competition, and that was put on by IMEA. And it was well attended, and we were the host. It was an IMEA function. The girls in the office helped out as far as volunteering and doing, helping out with different events and making it kind of a hospitality thing. And then our line crew and meter crew did all the cooking, did all the smoking, and put on a real good meal for everybody. And it was well attended. It went over great again this year. They loved it so much, they're looking at possibly bringing all of their trainings to Lawrenceburg next year. They talked to Kelly about that while they were down there. So just want to let you know it was another extremely successful event, and everything went off without a hitch, and great competition.
Lou, I went down there and looked, it was really cool what was going on. I mean, it seemed like there weren't as many teams as usual,
There's only 5, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Is that IMEA didn't spread the word well enough, or, I mean?
Yeah, that's one of the things we're gonna, so Dwayne had some things going on and just didn't go get the teams like he did. Plus, there were some other things, that was going on throughout the different municipalities of the state that normally people would have been here, but there were some situations that happened that they couldn't attend. But that is one thing that we want more teams. I think last year we had 8 or 9 teams here. So, and it takes a lot of work to put all this stuff together. So we want to make sure it's well attended. So that's something we'll work on for next year.
Okay, good.
That's all I have.
All right. If no other announcements, then I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Director Kennett, we got the sale of the vac trailer.
Yes, sir. So back in 2018, we bought the boring machine, and then we bought a vac trailer. Typically, we would have sold both of them as separate items. At the same time, we sold the boring machine. We chose to save the vac trailer because we thought we could use it with the water department to do some things. Turns out they couldn't. They tried to fix it up to where they could do what they wanted, and they wasn't able to do that. So we don't have any use for the vac trailer. We do have a vacuum truck that the water department uses, and we share that throughout the city and throughout the electric department. We share that because that's an expensive piece of equipment. So we want to sell this vac trailer. It was purchased in 2018. We paid $93,979 for it. It only has 89.2 hours, so it just hasn't been used much at all. All indications and the way equipment's selling, we expect to get a very good price out of this. We put some feelers out and talked to the manufacturer, and they think we'll be able to get a good price. So we'll put it on the gov.com website if you all approve the sale of the vac trailer.
It's a good price, is that like north of 50, you think?
We should, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can put a minimum bid on it. We haven't talked about where that's at. Usually, if it's 93, we'll probably put a minimum bid at least 70 on it.
Okay.
And I think it should go above that.
One question I would have, Mr. Ken, is I've noticed in the past that the line crew actually does use the water department's vac truck when they're setting poles.
Yes.
So if we had a remote location where they couldn't get that vac truck in, you wouldn't be able to get that in there? It just wouldn't be feasible
It
enough?
doesn't have the power that the
Oh, okay.
that the vacuum truck
Gotcha.
has. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion to give Director Kennett the approval to sell the vac trailer.
So move, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other new business, Director Kennett?
No, sir.
How about the old business, mapping pole contacts?
Yeah, so as part of the mapping system, the mapping proposal, surveying the pole attachments and inventorying them on the mapping system was part of the scope of work with Banning Engineering. What was slipped and what happened, both Banning and LMU didn't realize this, but the surveying of the pole contacts, these are joint use contacts. So somebody like CenturyLink, the telecom people use our poles, and we send them an invoice for an annual fee that we get for those pole contacts. And we were supposed to have everything inventoried when they did all the surveying. What we didn't realize was the pole contacts was in as part of the scope from Banning with a subcontractor that was doing the fiber surveying. And we started, that subcontractor started work in here and was doing the mapping of the fiber and doing the pole contacts. And then when the city knew that they was going to sell the fiber system, the city asked us to stop the surveying of those pole contacts. So what we didn't realize was as soon as we stopped the surveying of the fiber system, we stopped the surveying of the pole contacts. The way we found this, we went in, we're getting ready to bill the communication companies for the annual fees for the pole contacts, and the amount of pole contacts for each company was not matching up to our old records. We're not even close. So we started looking into it, and Banning found out when we canceled the fiber, it canceled the surveying of the pole contacts. So really both companies are at stake here, or at fault, if you might say that. Banning missed it, we missed it. We canceled that, or we stopped the contract for the fiber, which caused this situation. So Banning said, this is an unusual situation. We're estimating that it'll take us about $30,000 to go in and do just the inventory of the pole contacts. Can we split it? Banning will pay $15,000 and LMU will pay $15,000. I looked at the numbers, and I think that's a good deal because when we first quoted this out, let's see, we had, so to map the fiber and to do the pole contacts, the original quote was $79,500. When we stopped Banning from doing the rest of the fiber system, the city paid $19,672. So it was about $20,000, and if we paid the $15,000 our part to get the pole contacts done, it's about $35,000 that it would cost us to do the pole contacts. So, and when we finished the scope of work for the mapping system, the original budget was $467,000, and we came in at $417,000. So even with adding the additional $15,000 to get the pole contacts done, we're still almost $35,000 below budget for that project. So my recommendation is to split this cost with Banning to get the pole inventory. It is very important that we have that on the mapping system so that we can bill it properly, and we have proof of the billings in case one of the communication companies would contest how many contacts we're billing them for. So recommendation is for approval of the proposal from Banning Engineering for $15,000 to survey and map the pole contacts.
Questions? understand how we got to that, and it seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay. All right, I entertain a motion then to allow Director Kennett to go forward with doing the mapping of the pole contacts at a price tag of $15,000.
Yeah, I'll move, Your Honor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Next item, Director Kennett, you got 2024 allotment of electric meters.
Yeah, so we did this at about this time last year
Yeah.
due to supply chain issues. When we put together our plan for our AMI meter reading system, one of the advantages of choosing Tantalus was we was able to do this on a phased basis versus purchasing all the meters up front. And it helps us out immensely from a cash flow standpoint. What we did last year, so at the end of the year, they do some pricing incentives, and but more of the reason for this is to get ahead of the supply chain issues, because these have been just like anything else. It's hard to get meters, it's hard to get those Tantalus modules. So there is a price break that we'll receive for placing the order. But it worked out well last year. We went ahead and y'all approved the order of the meters. We placed the meters, the order. The meters may or may not come in by the end of the year, but our invoice won't be until after the first of the year. So it'll hit next year's cycle, and it works out really well. Now, when we set up our 5-year plan, for 2024, we had $166,500 in the budget for the purchase of electric meters. These meters have went up since we put that together in 2021. So that same allotment of meters that we budgeted for in 2021, instead of being 166.5, it's now 193,598. So we would ask for the approval of being able to go ahead and order those meters, which comes out to be $193,598.
20% doesn't sound that bad, really. I mean, at the nature of how things are going right now.
Yeah.
Questions?
All I can say is good old COVID.
If no questions, no legitimate questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordering the 2024 allotment of electric meters.
I'll move, Your Honor.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Any other old business?
That's it.
No other old business? I entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Did he get the first?
Tommy got first, who's second?
I'll second it.
Brett, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And the reason I did that is close to 6:30.
Yep.
There you go.
Get it going.
I knew it was
Come
going.
on.
That's why Billy was hurrying up.
Yep.
He's helping us out tonight.
All right, do we need to open this meeting before we do the hearing, or we can do the hearing without the meeting yet?
You need a hearing now for the meeting.
It's 6:30, so per the posting and per our, the state statute regarding 2024 budget, tonight is a public hearing on the budget. If anyone in the audience has any concerns, questions regarding the budget, it's been posted.
Yeah, I want to mention that it's been posted on both bulletin boards in front of the offices right there. It's posted by funds, all right, and it tells you, it gives you the total budget. So if anybody has any questions or anything, there are the numbers, plus it's got the tax levy and stuff too in there.
Okay.
Mayor, I
Yes.
know I'm not a member of the public, but I still have a few questions pertaining to the budget. Do we still have time ourselves to talk about those?
No, it's already been put in the gateway,
It's
right?
in Gateway right now, yes.
Oh. So there's no,
Mm.
We could, I mean, obviously, we can get you the answers if you have questions. We just can't change it at this point. I mean, going forward after that, we can do appropriations if we
Well,
have to have more.
And one thing.
Anything I have in question, and I didn't know if I could bring them up in public meeting, I really don't feel comfortable, but was not adding anything. I was concerned with some things in there.
Well, we would have done that during the budget session. And you weren't able to attend that, remember?
I wasn't able to attend that, but it was to my understanding that was just for the department heads only that day. That's how
No, that was our normal budget workshop.
One thing,
That's not
one thing to keep in mind, I mean, this is proposed budget. If it gets approved on the 16th, council, you still have to approve,
Yeah, you still good.
you have to approve any spending that's done. If anytime any spending's done through this budget next year, you guys still have to approve it.
well, I apologize. I really
No,
thought that
that's
was
fine.
for the department heads. I didn't know it was for all of us.
Well, what we did this year, it's a good, I understand why you
Okay.
think that, Tommy. We involved the department heads this year, thinking that they deserved to
Gotcha.
be a part of that workshop. But the intent was, it was the budget workshop, but I'd go ahead and bring your questions up if you have them. I don't, I think, you need to do that. I mean, unless you don't.
Nope, I'm good. I apologize. That was my fault.
Well,
It won't happen again, I'll tell you that. Well, if I'm here again.
all right. Anyone else? All right, we'll close the public hearing at 6:33. Okay. All right. Next thing I'd like to do is call to order the City Council for the City of Lawrenceburg meeting for October 2nd, 2023. We all could rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once again, there, Mr. Fetty.
All right, Councilperson Tony Abbott. Here. Councilperson Justin Noppert.
Sir.
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant. Yes, sir. City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, announcements, board report, streets, alleys, and curbs for the downtown area. Mr. Abbott?
Okay, I have one thing here of concern. On the each side of Walnut Street, East William and West William, if you
Okay.
notice that those first blocks, the street is cracking right down the middle. Nice sized cracks in it. I mean, you're talking that wide.
Oh.
On both sides of Walnut.
On
So we need-
the east and west?
Yes. So we need to look into those.
William and.
Where's that at again?
Walnut Street, Walnut, East and West William, railroad
Okay.
tracks.
I'll go to Walnut.
And Concrete
I got you.
Street.
I got you.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
getting off-
dry.
Interesting.
We'll get them to take a look at that, Tony.
All right, that's it.
All right. What about up on the hill there, Mr. Fryman?
Everything looks good, Mayor. Thank you.
Finance Department, Mr. Bondurant.
No report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
And-
I would like to add something to the Parks and Playground.
Yes.
I was over at George Street Park, and I gotta admit, I'm kind of ashamed. That equipment over there is filthy. It definitely needs to be power washed, and I would rather not wait till next summer. It's got mold on it, green
That
mold.
guy from the,
It's the
Yeah.
fungi. It's also got green mold all over.
yeah, and it's not, because it's kind of shaded, a lot of the
Yeah.
day, so yeah, it does need to be cleaned, you're right, you're absolutely right. Thank
Mayor,
you.
correct me if I'm wrong, did you not bring that up earlier this year that we were gonna try to get all those clean?
Yeah, and I'll check with Brad and Roger on the George Street. I thought that I know they power washed all the parks,
I think
Yeah, I seen all the equipment.
I think they cleaned the shelter, but they didn't actually clean the equipment.
really. I'll check with them.
All right, because it's in bad
And
shape.
if it didn't get done, we will have it done, because I know I had asked them also to do the playground up on the hill, because it had been up there now, what, about 3-4 years? And it was starting to show some of that pitting on like the slides and stuff was what I was talking, but I'll have them check on it tomorrow morning.
Walking around town though, I did notice that the Babe Ruth field was clean.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, they
that.
did all those shelters, and then
Yeah.
that's when they went and repainted it all. And
Interesting.
but I know also they were they did all the shelters at the other park. But I'll check with Roger Houston. Tony.
Okay, and I would like to thank you for the bench that you put at George Street Park too when I called you.
Bench? Oh,
It's,
yep, no problem. No problem. That park sort of becomes forgotten sometimes,
Yeah.
and we need to make sure that we keep it up as well.
I was wanting to ask too, up on the walking trail on the levee.
Yeah.
Did they by chance go up there and hose that off with all that goose stuff all over the concrete?
I don't know.
There was a
When did
person
you walk
told-
the trail?
I actually ran 5 miles the other day, Mayor, so
who was chasing you?
I got it on my feet.
Do you know where they're talking?
It was,
think
I was
it's
on my bike yesterday.
Yeah, did you see it?
It's all good.
It's good?
Cleaned it
good.
all.
Yeah, this
good.
rains usually wash it off. It gets pretty bad.
Yep.
No, wait a minute. I just talked about running 5 miles. Now you're calling me a liar saying I
Well,
did when
Lenny-
you had your bike up there. No respect, I'll tell you. I feel like Rodney.
I hear you. Thanks, Mark. Anything else on parks, playgrounds, guys?
I have nothing.
Fire department, Mr. Rolette.
I have no report, Mayor, but I do have a couple of things I would like to bring under announcements tonight, if I could, please.
Oh, absolutely.
First and foremost, I would like to congratulate Coach Noppert on his success with his Greendale Middle School cross-country team on their achievements this year. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Nice.
Kids.
Very
Good thing Lenny was their training.
Yeah.
Could very well done. I think, let me elaborate, this is the first time that the GMS has ever,
They've never won an award at the middle school for cross-country, and they went to state.
yep,
Went to
Ama-
the
Very good.
state championship, so they
Amazing.
yep.
worked their butts off. They've been
And I'm
amazing.
gonna post
Good job,
this
Coach.
picture of his mug in my office.
There you go.
The second thing I'd like to bring up, Mayor, and I received this email over the weekend, and I sent it to all you.
Sure.
Our promoter for the Lawrenceburg Motorcycle Speedway is having a benefit for his grandfather this weekend, and he is actually allowing all city employees to receive one free admission with a worker's ID.
Okay.
I did pass this on to HR today. She did email this out to everybody, so they know that.
Yes.
The only thing that he did ask me in our conversation, which I told him that this is not the way that it transpires, he was looking for monetary donations. And I said, normally, you have to go in front of a donation committee, submit something, and they will review it and then give you the said monies that you may ask for. I said, we as this council cannot do that.
Would this fall more under like a sponsorship, though? I mean, as
I don't
a
know.
sponsor event?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
it
think it
would
did say
come,
sponsor.
and I think you guys have the authority then to do the sponsorship more so
Okay.
than the donation committee.
So how do we go about that?
What, do you know what kind of dollar amount?
He did not give me a dollar amount, and the only thing I thought of was most of the time, we do a $500 donation towards other, like golf outings and things like that.
Well, sponsorships, we sponsor Whiskey City, you know,
So I don't know.
Criterium.
ALS card?
ALS, and those are
What-
significant.
Any idea what the purse is? Was it?
$2,000.
did I read
$2,000.
Yep.
I read two?
$2,000, yeah, and they're splitting it up.
What if we did 50% of the purse?
I'd feel comfortable with that.
Could he sponsor bringing some kids from the Yes Home down to see the motorcycle races?
Oh, that'd be great.
I didn't ask him.
If
Just-
you would do that, I'd
If he
be,
could make a call out there to Amy Phillips.
You have his numbers, you could call him. I mean, I send every one of you guys the numbers. Yeah, if you want, that's a good idea. I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's
Okay.
11 right now out there, 11 or 12.
Yeah, and I just want to, well, we can, let's get this motion through, but first, before I make a comment about the Yes Home, but does somebody want to form that in a form of a motion from council?
I
as
mean,
far as the sponsorship?
I'd be happy to,
I'll second that.
yeah, so.
Well, let's,
Well, I'd move that we would, sponsor that event as a sponsor with, $1,000
okay,
toward the purse.
okay.
And I'll second that.
Second, all in any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor.
No, thank you.
And that's all I have.
Yes, Home, I think you all saw that, we ran into Amy Phillips the other evening. They got a huge Lilly grant.
Yeah.
860
something.
8,000?
Yeah, it was a bunch. It was a big number.
The only thing she said they weren't allowed to do was do it for renovations, but they got plenty they want to do with it. Because she wants to renovate the first floor out there, because they're out of space. You mentioned 11 or 12 people, but they're out of space. And so she's got plans for that too, but that's amazing. She said it never dreamt, and everybody knows Amy. She's been doing that with the S Home for a long time.
20+ years, yeah.
And what an accomplishment, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that
Yeah, and
up.
currently, the residents stay on the second floor, and they have not utilized the first floor for actual residents, so that's
Absolutely.
been part of what, talking through,
Yeah.
potentially expanding different things, so it's a pretty, if you guys haven't had a chance to get out there, even to, it's
Very impressive.
Any idea what the plans are with the grant?
I think it's a lot of programming stuff, but also there's some other things they're allowed to bring for the kids.
Okay.
She didn't have, we didn't get into a list,
Sure.
but I'm sure she's got a nice list.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But,
sure. Good for her.
Opens
Good
up
for them.
doors, it's great.
That's a great,
Yeah.
great place out there. Yeah, I agree with Justin. If y'all haven't had a chance to tour that, Amy's
Yeah.
more than willing to take people through. It's pretty impressive what they do out there and things, but I just wanted to bring that up as well. I've got a couple other announcements, trick or treat times and dates, and I'll have Gwen get this all out on social media. October 31st, 6 to 8 is the times and the date for trick or treat in Lawrenceburg. And I don't know if y'all knew this, I got a call yesterday. Cummins Cafe, proprietor and owner Lanny Cummins, passed away yesterday.
Oh, she did?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sweet lady.
I believe
What's
her,
with it?
I believe her service is Thursday. Did you,
It's on Facebook, I'm
What's-
not sure.
I think it was Thursday though, Connie, if I read it right. And I had Kelly look it up to make sure she sent flowers from
It's not a good weekend. We lost Loretta Day's husband.
Yep.
Toby Day.
Yeah,
Phew. Man,
Yeah.
you just never know.
Yeah, she was a nice lady.
yeah. She had a great BLT.
She sure did.
When
had
I
a
went to
great
school
BLT
with her,
there.
she was feisty. She was. I loved her.
She was still feisty.
Oh, she
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think back in the day, she would have fought a man.
She had some good stuff there.
I'm serious.
All right,
Mayor?
no other announcements? Yes.
Before we move on from announcements, just for future reference, I was gonna bring it up at the end of Tommy's comment there. If we're ever contacted about somebody regarding some kind
Yes,
of
good
donation committee, is directing them to Mrs. Hermish upstairs, the right move.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if it's something above and beyond that, she'll bring it to me, and then I would bring it to you guys.
Is that, most of ours that come in our packet are 250 or 500, right? Is that what the donation committee
yeah.
handles?
Yeah.
Anything further than that?
Their max is 500,
Okay.
and that's the community.
Good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah.
Yep, that's the proper process.
Okay.
Yep. I wasn't aware of that either.
Yep, good point.
Being council has no budget.
You only approved the whole budget.
Don't we have any money to give away?
All right, no other announcements. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it, Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, let me see. I'm going to have Mr. Bryson Walkie, if you got any questions about the Ultifiber internet connections, this is the agreement on the connections that we all have at the city, our city and owned entities.
Basically, while we had our own internet company, it was easy just to throw internet everywhere. So that's what we tried to do. So now that we're going to have to pay $59 a month per connection. We're going to shrink it from 18 today is what we have. The city will take 7. LMU needs 3 for the AMI locations that are scattered around. And we're going to disconnect 7. So just because it's disconnected, it's actually, those locations are in a future plan for the Unicity project that we signed with Alta Fiber, to where like this free Wi-Fi areas, if you will. So there's a lot of moving pieces, because even though I'm shrinking it to 7, my target next year is to shrink it to 1 or 2 and then distribute it out over the dark fiber that we're leasing. So I should be able to reduce that cost significantly next year too.
Are those, because that's commercial rates, you know, I mean, that seems pretty inexpensive for connection. Are we just getting that because of the bulk? How many?
Yes, so there's an agreement, there's a cost agreement, and we're taking the very minimum package of Alta Fiber. We're going from 1 gig to 200 megs. And that number keeps increasing is because their minimum was a lot bigger than our minimum. So, but it should be absolutely fine for, we did some speed tests at different locations, and I don't have any concerns.
I was happy with 20 megs.
I know you streamed everything.
Everything, all my kids.
But basically, there's going to be, for right now, there's 7 contracts on the city side and 3 on the LMU side that'll be $59 per month. So this is, all those together is what I'm asking for approval to sign.
In your letter there, you got 8 for the city.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, it is 8.
8, 3, and then get rid of 7.
Yep, you're right. I swapped those 2 numbers.
Now, Bryson, does that have anything to do with the lift stations? You know, we have fiber to the lift stations. We're getting ready to put SCADA on those lift stations. Will that be considered a connection point, or is that part of the dark fiber?
That's a great question, because I don't 100% know that answer yet. So we have I've had several conversations with Alta Fiber specifically about your lift stations and how we're going to get those connected. We have that list that you gave me, that was that handwritten list is what we're working off of. But I think right now it's going to be dark fiber. In a single ring is the cheapest option. So that's what we're trying to get.
So we won't have to pay this connection fee for that then?
Per location, that's what I'm trying to avoid. But I'll get with you here soon. We should have something probably by the end of next month.
Okay. Yeah, I sent you an email today. We met with the SCADA company this morning, and we want to get fiber to the water wells as well.
Okay, that's awesome.
The water tower up on Pribble, and then the reservoir booster station.
Okay.
as well. We want to go ahead and get our fiber all set up.
Okay.
SCADA system. So,
I'll kick that off and I'll give you an update here shortly.
okay, great, thank you.
Okay, questions for Bryson, guys?
With the fairgrounds over there, so we're basically doing away with pretty much all that fiber over there, the Agner Hall, that stuff. I mean, is it used for anything now? I mean, as far as the fair, this, that, or?
Well, so we have dark fiber that goes to Agner Hall for the police cameras. And today, the internet came in separately, and this is like the target is for me to then provide internet to that location like we do for the cameras in order to reduce that cost. So that's what the hope is, that I can get that done pretty quickly for Agner Hall. But for the 4-H thing, the 4-H barns, we'll have to come up with something before the next fair, for sure. But that's a part of that Unicity, is Wi-Fi coverage for Agner Hall and all that area. So hopefully by then, and we have that allotment, it's a couple $100,000 that Alta Fiber is giving us for.
Does the Speedway or racetrack over there have anything?
Not yet, but that is included in our Unicity plan, is for the
They don't
Speedway
any
to have.
at the present time.
Correct.
Okay.
Also,
I was thinking this race this Friday, so hopefully.
4-H, during the 4-H fair, they have a gentleman that works for Alta Fiber that helps them out as well with getting them
Mhm.
Okay.
at that, for their week. Mark, you were asking about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe he had stated that the 7 he's talking about they're really not being used every day. Is one of the reasons he went with them.
Yeah.
I can see that. You know, if you don't have people there all the time, why are we providing it? I mean, today's technology, you can hotspot your phone if you got an iPad. That's what I do.
Yep.
I mean, I can even do that, you know.
Tommy's got a long way for 3 years.
A long way.
Boy, am I ever glad we got away from the paper and went to the.
I still walked in with a file.
A complete case.
Glad we got away from the paper too.
Here's my file.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Walkie? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thanks. The next two items, I want to just get your approval for Ivy Tech Monster Mash, Mash Dash 5K. They have it every year up here on the trail.
That must have been what Lenny was mapping out the other day.
Yeah, he's trying to get his,
I was trying to get in shape for it.
for his 5K, he's gonna run, he called it 5 miles, but he's only running 3.2. That's 5K, isn't it, Dustin?
As big as I am, you run that far, that's
You only
like
have to
running
run
10 miles.
You only have to run 3.1.
There we go, I'm good.
You can do
Put me in,
that
coach.
backwards. All right, anybody got questions regarding Ivy Tech? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll move,
So-
Your Honor. Second.
First, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is, Logan, he's already wanting to get the 2024 ALS on the schedule, so we're looking at May 5th of 2024. That's first Sunday in May, as always. Get a motion to approve?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
That turns out to be a wild event in Lawrenceburg. because
Absolutely.
First event, that ALS.
Oh,
It's
yes.
just a busy day.
It's a lot to do in a day.
Yeah.
Yes, it
It's
is.
a lot.
It's great
Happening
though.
place in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Great.
That's the end of the new business, and I have no old business for tonight. Any comments from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
And I saw some people on George Street, and they wonder why there's no lights on in the park on George Street.
No lights?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that there's no lights.
I don't know, I'll say
I'll
something.
put it on the list, but I'm not aware of that, Lee.
So, wonder why there wasn't any on there.
There's quite a few lights over there, I know that.
There's lights there.
Yeah, I'll check it.
Parking lot.
No lights on there.
Mayor, they don't go out at 10 o'clock when the parks are shut
No.
down by chance.
No, not the lights.
On
No.
security lights.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll get them check it tomorrow, though.
Billy can do that.
Yeah.
Guys, check those.
Fuzzy down there, get
There's-
it.
Thank you.
There's one or two out up on the levee too, Billy.
Or Street Park, yeah.
Billy,
Thank
there's
you.
one or two out up on the levee. I don't know, are we doing that at LMU? We're covering up
Yeah.
lights
Yep.
out up on the levee. That's-
Okay.
Oh, along the trail?
Yep.
We just did a run
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
I just did a run Sunday morning, and there's one right at the top of the hill when you come up the ramp there.
Okay.
Sure wasn't foggy and you just couldn't see it.
Decorative
Man,
pretty
Different
I have my
kind of
glasses
run.
on.
on the trail.
Okay.
Okay.
I know you wore glasses.
Are we finished with the phone move over? All of our phones moved over?
For LMU.
Yeah.
There's still some issues we're working through.
Were you guys down a little bit today?
I'm not aware of,
I had 2 people today call trying to get a hold of utilities, and I sent them to the number that's on our website and stuff, and they said that's
so
what they
today
tried.
was a very busy day because
Okay.
we have disconnects tomorrow, so the girls were making phone calls and
Got it.
everything.
I'm
so
sure that's all it was. then.
That could've, so chances are they were all on the phone and it probably went into voicemail.
Good enough. Thank you. I wasn't sure
Today was
if we were still kind of in the midst of finishing that project or not with the
Yeah.
new phone company.
Yeah. And we did have a hiccup in the transfer, and we've got that fixed. So we had one weekend where we were not receiving calls for electric outages, and we fixed that when they got back in the office Monday morning. It was just a fat finger on a number. We put the wrong number in there. And
Okay.
some lady was getting all of our outage phone calls.
Oh, that's not good.
I talked to her Sunday, and she was not happy.
Better pay her on call pay.
Yeah. You need to keep your fingers off of it, sounds like. to me.
He's got 5 thumbs.
Was that the reason?
Look at them hands.
Okay, any other comments? If not, entertain a motion to approve the claims.
Mayor?
Yes,
If I
sir?
may, on the claims.
Absolutely.
There was a couple of claims that I looked through this past week, and they were very vague, and I asked the contractors to break it down better, and we have not received those yet. One should be here within a day or two.
Okay.
The other one, the guy keeps stiffing me, but I would, until we get a breakdown, I would like to hold off on voucher number 3738
3738, okay,
and 3780
3780,
until we receive a better breakdown
okay. All right,
of work
so
performed.
can we get approval on the claims except for vouchers 3738 and voucher 3780?
Now, I would make that motion as, if they get those in within this week, can we go ahead and pay them?
If that's what you want to do, yes.
That's what I would like.
If you get a satisfactory answer,
Yes, and they will.
you can, we will give Mr. Fetty the authority to pay those. Okay, all right,
So I'll make that motion. Then.
okay. Second?
I'll second that, John.
Second, Justin. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting, Lenny.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you,
I
everyone.
wonder if I was gonna get in there, Mayor.
I see you pulling into the food truck the other day, down at Low Miller,